That's smart with the
let's do it.
Okay. Hello and welcome.
My name is Stacy, and I will be officiating today's ceremony. Today is my debut as a wedding officiator. When Ted and Laura asked me if I would marry them, I think I was the most surprised person in the world. When I told family and friends, they were just as surprised. So, I promised to attempt to do only as good a job as Ted and Laura thought possible. So on that note, let's begin.
All of you have come from near and far to be here for this very special day to witness the wedding of Ted and Laura, and they are very grateful. You are all invited because you have all touched Ted and Laura's life in some deep and meaningful way. There are some who are not here and are missed every day. In particular, Laura's little sister Debbie, Laura's stepmother Barb, Ted's dear parents Ted and Emma Lou, and Ted's friend and mentor Bill. They would be so happy to see this day, in their memory, a moment of silence. We have 4 very special people up here with us as witnesses. John and Kathy Ragland. They are dear friends from Ted and Laura's time in Charlotte. We have Tom, Ted's only brother. They are truly brothers, different in many ways, but Dalheims through and through. And we have Lona. Lona and Laura met over 2 grueling exercise classes, a sad story, and a beer, and have been friends ever since. Laura is delighted, or should I say squirts, to be escorted down the aisle by her dear father, Bill. And the only person happier than Laura today is her mother, Phyllis, who is also in attendance. We also have the 2 most important people to Ted and Laura, Jess and Joey, their children. From the day that Ted and Laura first met, the first thing they agreed upon was that their children would always come first, even before each other. And now we will have a reading from Ted's daughter Jess, To Love is Not to Possess. Yep.
To Love is Not to Possess by James Kavanaugh. To love is not to possess, to own or imprison, nor to lose oneself in another. Love is to join and separate, to walk alone and together, to find a laughing freedom that lonely isolation does not permit. It is finally to be able to be who we really are, no longer clinging in childish dependency, nor docilely living separate lives in silence. It is to be perfectly oneself and perfectly joined in permanent commitment to another and to one's inner self. Love only endures when it moves like waves, receding and returning gently or passionately, or moving lovingly like the tide in the moon's own predictable harmony. Because finally, despite a child's scars or an adult's deepest wounds, they are openly free to be who they really are and always secretly were in the very core of their being, where true and lasting love can alone abide.
upstaged. Ted and Laura, today is a day you will always remember, the greatest in anyone's life. You start the day as two people in love and end it as husband and wife. Today is a celebration of love, of commitment, of family and friends, and two people who are in it forever. Ted and Laura, will you please join your hands, and with your hands, your hearts. The story of Ted and Laura began 7 years ago when they were introduced by their mutual friend, Emily. Emily, will you please raise your hand? Oh, hello, Emily. If anyone in the audience is in need of any matchmaking services, Ted and Laura say this is your girl. Ted and Laura began as a blind date in the Paladar restaurant sharing guacamole. Now 7 whirlwind years later, 1 in Ohio, 3 in Charlotte, and 3 in Lynchburg, here they are walking down the aisle. I think Laura may have been preferred to have done this a year or 2 ago, but that's neither here nor there.
Or more.
Ted and Laura waited a long time to find each other. Each of their journeys were long and hard. This has made their relationship stronger, deeper, and more loving. They are truly happiest together. In describing their relationship, Ted says he feels like he is on vacation every day. They find happiness and comfort in each other's company. They both say that they can be totally themselves when they are with each other. When Laura was asked, what is the smallest nice thing that your partner does for you, Laura says that Ted will always open her car door, even in the rain. And Ted says, Laura will always scratch my back. They radiate sunshine and happiness together. This is a love and a respect we can all be inspired by and aspire to. We are lucky to be here to witness this marriage, and best of all, we get to celebrate it over there as soon as I'm done. And on that note, we have our second reading from Laura's son Joey, The Art of Marriage.
The Art of Marriage by Wilfred A. Peterson. A good marriage must be created. In the art of marriage, the little things are the big things. It is never being too old to hold hands. It is remembering to say I love you at least once a day. It is never going to sleep angry. It is having a mutual sense of values and common objectives. It is forming a circle of love that gathers in the whole family. It is speaking words of appreciation and demonstrating gratitude in thoughtful ways. It is having the capacity to forgive and to forget. It is giving each other an atmosphere in which each can grow. It is finding room for the things of the Spirit. It is a common search for the good and the beautiful. It is not only marrying the right partner, it is being the right partner.
And now Ted and Laura will exchange their vows.
Yes, we're going to read them. Because I'm not going to screw this. Laura, I love your joy, your smile, and your infectious laugh. I love that you are strong, tireless, and resilient. When bad things happen in life, you pick yourself up and you go on with no doubt that you can. I love that we see and think alike and notice the same detail in everything. I'm as amazed by that every time it happens as if it were the very first time. I love that you're sentimental, compassionate, and can freely show your emotions to everyone. Above all, I love that you treasure our family and friends and give your love and time to them without a second thought. I love all these things about you. I promise to always be funny and laugh with you. I promise to be tireless and not sit still until we're both ready to. I promise to care for you and for those we treasure and give my time to them as you do. I promise to always open the door for you, just like my mom taught me to. Most of all, you make my life a dream come true, and I promise to do the same for you. I make these promises to you today and forevermore. I love you.
Ted, you are the most loving, charming, honest, gentle, and generous man I've ever known. You make me feel more loved than I ever thought possible, and you make me happier than I ever imagined being. You make me a better person. Our love for one another is reflected in the way I live my life. I want to continue to be a better person so I feel worthy of your love. I think of these words more as privileges than promises. I feel privileged to be loved by you. I promise to never take your love for granted. I promise to continue to love your daughter and grandchildren as my own. I promise not to get mad when you turn down the thermostat to 55 when you're hot, or up to 80 when you're cold. I promise to always fold, not roll your socks, and to scratch your back almost every night. I promise to protect and preserve the deep bond and love we have for each other. I can laugh and cry with you. I'm lucky to walk or run beside you and live to comfort you and be comforted by you. I make these promises to you today and forevermore. I love you.
And now our final reading by Laura's brother Scott, The Tin Wedding Whistle.
The Tin Wedding Whistle by Ogden Nash. Though you know it anyhow, listen to me, darling, now. Proving what I need not prove, how I know you, I love you, love. Near and far, I am happy where you are. Likewise, I have never learned how to be where you aren't. Far and wide, I can walk with you beside. Furthermore, I tell you what, I sit and sulk where you are not. Visitors remark my frown, where you're upstairs and I am down. Yes, and I'm afraid I pout when I'm indoors and you are out. But how contentedly I view any room containing you. In fact, I care not where you be, just as long as it's with me. In all your absences I glimpse fire and flood and trolls and imps. Is your train a minute slothful? I goad the station master, wrathful. When with friends to bridge you drive, I never know if you're alive. And when you linger late in shops, I long to telephone the cops. Yet how worth the waiting for, to see you coming through the door? Somehow, I can be complacent, never but with you adjacent. Near and far, I am happy where you are. Likewise, I have never learnt how to be where you aren't. Then grudge me not my fond endeavor to hold you in my sight forever. Let none, not even you, disparage such a valid reason for a marriage.
Ted and Laura, do you come with joy and anticipation to this moment when you will be legally joined in marriage? Do you pledge to treat each other with kindness and respect and compassion, to listen to each other and to speak to each other with honesty today and always? And now the presentation of the rings. These rings are a symbol of the unbroken circle of love. Love freely given has no beginning and no end. Love freely given has no giver and no receiver, for each is the giver and each is the receiver. May your rings always call to mind the freedom and the power of this love.
Ah, darn.
Ted, I give you this ring as a symbol of my love and unending commitment.
Now please enjoy your friends and family who have gathered to spend this day with you. This group of loved ones will likely never be together in the same place again. Take the time now to celebrate how each person has touched your life and why they are here with you today. It is my pleasure to present to you Ted and Laura Dahlheim, now husband and wife. May your love for each other May your love for each other grow and grow, just like all of Laura's gardens. This ceremony is ended. You may seal it with a kiss.
Woo!